Hi there. Lots of you have asked me how I transformed Speech and Musing's phonological toolbox into a digital form to share through Zoom or Google Meet. And so I'm going to give you a quick tutorial on this today. And you are going to be surprised and think to yourself, oh my gosh, why didn't I think of that? It's super easy and it's super applicable to other things that you'll be doing if you're working within a virtual or digital platform. So the first thing I did was I created a new folder in my drive, and in this case, I named it Phonological Cycles Kit. Within that, I made enough slideshows that would cover all of the structures that were represented in Shannon's kit. So here they all are. And then I went to TPT and I downloaded the Cycles for Phonology kit again because I tried it 2 different ways, and for me this worked the best. So in one tab I have my downloaded copy of Cycles for Phonology, and then I created all of these little folders. Because I like a checklist, all of the incomplete slides I kept open at the top of my screen, and then as I completed them, I got the satisfaction of closing them out and then seeing those tabs disappear. So if you're a worker bee like me, sometimes it's kind of nice. All right, so let's go into 2-syllable words. This is the one that I'm currently working on. So I created the Google slideshow. I went into Shannon's material, and first I grab the cover. I'm going to show you how to grab all of these pictures in just a second. And then I created enough slides just by pressing the plus button so that I would have enough for the entire deck of cards for 2-syllable words. I did not divide these into these categories. So I didn't do set 1, set 2, set 3. I put all of those in one deck of cards just so I wouldn't have so many files or so many slideshows within my folder. So let's go back into the words for 2 syllables. Let's come back into our 2-syllable file, slideshow. I'm going to click on this empty slide right here. So this is where I want to put my first picture. I'm going to click on my Cycles for Phonology tab. And then I'm going to open up my snipping tool. Yes, the good old snipping tool. If you've never used it before, it is magical. You can do all kinds of things with it. And I'll click New. I created all of these in the rectangular mode. You have options here if you've never used this before. You can freeform snip, you can window snip, you can full screen snip, but I like the rectangular snip for this project. And then I would grab at the corner. I'd pull it across my entire picture from corner to corner. Try not to grab extra corners, and sometimes that happened. And then there it is. And then I would copy with a Control-C. I take it over to my 2-syllable words, and I drop it in with a Control-V. Now, when I did these bigger pictures, they format automatically to be in the center of the slide. When I did some smaller pictures earlier, they did not format to go in the middle of the slide. So I'd have to kind of play around with where this picture would go. And when my lines cross directly in the center, you'll see them line up right there, then I could drop my picture in so that it was centered on my slide. Another option you may want to use if you're clipping smaller pictures into a slideshow is the format option. You would go into size and rotation, and then you can adjust your height and width. I really like the size that Shannon has here because when I go to present mode, it takes up just enough of the screen so that it's bold and it's big for the child to see, but it's not so big that it's distorted. So I went with the size that populated on the screen automatically. So then when I'm ready for my next picture, I just click on slide number 3. I come back over to Cycles page. I go to my snipping tool. I tell it I want a new picture. And then I grab the corner of the next picture. And this is where it can get a little bit tricky, lining up your corners. And I would Control-C. I take it over into here. And Control-V. So there you have it. That is how you can create these digital pictures, these digital slideshows for your students and convert all of your information. If you already own this, though, stay tuned. Shannon may have something special coming to you so that you can use these yourself without putting in all the work. Thanks a lot.